Hello, Mr. Walter, today with one of the practical fiction and action films, Furiosa. Enjoyable viewing. It talks about the end of the world, destruction, the destruction of humanity, the lack of resources and food, and their confinement to the hands of people. The events begin when two girls were outside, one of them picking apples from the tree, when a group of the Dementos gang happened to be present. The girl cuts the fuel pipe on the bikes, and one of them grabs her and she hits him with a knife. She tries to escape and blows a whistle to warn her people, because they do not want anyone to know of their presence, so they grab the girl and run away, and the people begin to alert and run towards the place of the whistle. Here two girls are riding a horse chasing the gang, and when the chase is prolonged, one of the girls returns, and the other, who is Furiosa's mother, pursues them and kills many of them, but one of them succeeds in arriving to their place. Furiosa stabs him, so that he does not tell them their whereabouts. When they enter Dementis' tent, the person who was stabbed tells them that he knows the girl's place and that there is a lot of riches in it, and he dies. She refuses to speak, so he asks them to take care of her. Later, her mother enters, frees her, and escapes with her, but the gang pursues them, so she asks Furiosa is able to escape on a motorcycle. She will confront them and kill many of them, but they will catch her. Furiosa will return and arrest her. Here, Dementis asks her to show them where the riches are, but she refuses. They kill her mother in front of her and take her captive with them. He shows her how they kill people to make her speak, but without benefit. On their way, they find a person calling out a distress signal, and a conversation ensues between them, and he tells them the information that in the place he came from there are riches because they expelled him and he wants to take revenge on them, a place called the fort, so they head there, and here Dementis asks them to surrender and hand over to him the authority to enter the fort, because if they refuse, he will destroy them and kill them. Here, a conversation takes place between them. The deputy commander of the fort asks them to choose any of their men, to show them the display, and they choose a person at random. He commits suicide on them and blows himself up. This is the warning of the commander of the fort, Joe the Great, that his fortress is strong and cannot be penetrated, so they begin the attack on the army of Dementis, so they flee, but he wants revenge, so he puts a plan to attack the fuel tanker, seize control of it, and make his men board it to make it easy for them to enter. The plan succeeds and they enter the fort. A conversation takes place between Great Joe and Dementis about what each party wants. Joe asks Dementis for the little girl to take her as his wife when she grows up, and one of his men in return gives him food, as well as Dementis protects Great Joe's fuel fortress. Here, Furiosa is in a new place and a new gang, and here she tries to escape and enters among the soldiers to become one of them, so she cuts her hair and does not speak because he is a deaf boy, so she joins Jack's crew, who drives the fuel truck, and when they go to pick up the load, a splintered gang from Dementis attacks them, and a violent fight occurs between them. Many soldiers follow him, and here Furiosa helps Jack, so he asks her to become his assistant. He sees that she does not want to stay, so he made an agreement with her that he will help her to face all the circumstances to be ready to leave, and when she is ready, he then lets her leave, and here they went as usual, to take a load of fuel, but Dementis breaks the agreement, only taking the food and not giving them the fuel, and here Joe decides to send them again to load the fuel, but Dementis attacks them, kills them, grabs Jack and Furiosa, and begins torturing Jack and tying Furiosa's hand hanging from the truck, so she cuts off her hand and escapes and returns to the fort, and tells them about Dementis' plan to attack the fort. An ambush is set up for him, but he leaves the army and heads to the fort, and he escapes with his followers, and Furiosa pursues him, kills his followers, captures him, and continues to torture him to take revenge on him, because he killed her mother and she kills him. She returns to the fort to smuggle the girls because Joe takes them as his captives and wives, and if she does not meet his demands, he kills her, so she saves them. Enjoy watching, subscribe to the channel to support us and publish more.